Doodah 18 plate. It's got a battery drain on it. So this is going to be one of my first sort of full videos of a start to finish job. So yeah, let us know what you think of that. Like I say, we normally just do our day-to-day, how we run the business, etc. But I think I am going to do maybe one a week where we do sort of a case study, see how we go. It's not a training course, it is just showing out how we do it. So we've set this one up. It's actually got about 800 milliamp draw on it. So I'll show you how to set that up. So literally when you're setting up a amp draw, you just put your meter on amps, put it on 10 amps, just in case you have got 1, 2, 3, 4 amps draw on it. And it goes literally, you normally put it between the earth or the live, doesn't really matter. And there you can see that's exactly how much is being drawn out the battery. So we've latched all the doors over, had them open. When it first come in, we locked it all up as the customer would have it, and it wouldn't shut down. It's exactly the same drawer. So now we've got the doors open, latched over. It's not locked, but it's got exactly the same size of drawer on it. So now we can go through inside the car, checking all the fuses, check under the bonnet. So we're going to run through them now, or Barney is, and see if we can determine exactly what circuit it's on. If we can't, we're going to let it shut down overnight, run around it with the thermal imaging camera in the morning, and see if that points in any direction. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, we'll work out how we're going to sort of work out from there what we're going to do. So obviously processes are different on every car. You have to work it out yourself. There is no set, do you check this first, check that, check that. So yeah, so you start on the car. Every car we get in, we start on it, we have a look. That's got a big draw, so you know it's not going to just be an interior light left on or something like that. So you change your process as you go all the way through sort of every job you do. So let's get this one checked out, see if we can work out what fuse it's on. If we can't, we'll leave it overnight, and yeah, we'll let you know. So we've set this up on the meter. Still got the sort of 800 milliamps. So amp pound. People have been asking about these. They do actually show exactly how much draw you got down per fuse. So it doesn't need, you don't need to be disconnecting fuses like you used to do the old days. So it will tell you as you go across the fuse. It uses the resistance of the fuse to monitor a volt drop. You can do it just on a voltmeter, and then do a calculation of what size fuse you got, what volt drop you would have had. So yeah, so you set it up to what type of fuse you got. So mini fuses or standard normal ones, or you got the bigger ones. But yeah, so you got mini fuses. Set it to 10 amp, and then go across all your 10 amp fuses. Make sure it beeps. So if you're doing it with a meter, you have to look up every time. But this one, it gives you a little double beep and actually holds a reading, so it's a pretty good tool. So we've checked all the mini fuses in here. We haven't checked all the big ones. We're leaving them in because we don't want to disturb anything. We've checked inside the car. I'll show you that. Right, so we've just checked a couple of fuses under here. As you can see, we've had a 7.5 amp fuse, and it actually holds a reading. As soon as you go across it, it beeps and tells you. So there's, yeah, sort of 90 milliamps going out of that fuse. There's multiple fuses in this box which keep changing. So we're going to have to start disconnecting stuff. But what we're going to do first is go around it with a thermal imaging camera. See if it gives us any sort of direction of where we need to start looking. Then we'll start looking for aftermarket stuff, trackers. It has got an alarm in it. It's got some LED lights wired in all over the place. So I'm going to start stripping, see what we can find on that. In fact, let's show you around with a thermal imaging camera. There's nothing really showing glowing under here. And they're pretty accurate. Well, there you go. There's the amp pound we've been touching. That's glowing. In fact, watch this. If I touch that and off, it literally shows everything up. So a pretty accurate thing. Inside the car. See, ooh. You can see something over there. In fact, something on the down there is glowing. That's up a couple of degrees. But over there, let's try and get a glare off. Yeah, that's a lot sort of 23 degrees, and everything else around it's 17ish. So we're going to strip that out. I'll show you what we find behind there and go from there. So the actual dash cluster is glowing up. Pull that out forward, will you? So there's a cluster, and right on the back of it, something is getting fairly warm. There's an air conditioning little fan that's on all the time, and that's glowing as well. So we're going to disconnect the dash, see if that shuts anything down, and if not, is it something powering the dash up, which is not meant to be. A switch live staying on. So we'll go and check a diagram out, see actually how that works. We're going to quickly disconnect it, see what changes that makes, and then we've got a diagram up and show you exactly what we got coming in, going out of that cluster, see what that affects. Right, so gone around it with a thermal imaging camera. Obviously got a few bits awake. Dashboards, I've had a lot of faults on the earlier focuses where the dashboard that turns off the the can goes through the dashboard and then down to your climate control and everything. So if it loses any communication from there, then one stay live, a bit like the Bluetooth modules and stuff. So we're going to strip all that out, disconnect each one at a time, see if it shuts down. If it doesn't, we'll have to make a plan, work out from there, see if we can determine where it's going from. So let's get that stripped. Right, so although all these lot were all still powered up, we've disconnected them all, and the only thing what happens is each module, which is draining at a tiny bit at a time, just that part of the drain goes, but it still doesn't sort of shut down completely. So it's about 800 milliamps, and each one of these is taking about 100 milliamps each, so you drop it down to 7 and then 6 and then 5, but still it will stay at about 500 milliamps and just stay awake. So we know it's not down to these. We've checked underneath, we've pulled all the bottom of the dash off, pulled all the glove box out, we've disconnected the alarm, we've looked for Bluetooth modules, trackers, etc. There's nothing in there, everything's looking good. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to the body control module. That's got sort of 8 plugs coming out of it. If we can determine which way that whatever's keeping it live, we've had these before where a switch is stuck down, or one of your column switches is stuck, loads of little bits, window switch stuck down, something like that. If we can determine what part of the car that's coming from, then it gives us a sort of way to determine where it's going, because when the whole car's still awake, you can't really tell anything, so let's get down to the body control module, split all that lot out, work out what we've got going on there, and then hopefully that'll give us something. So we've worked out of this body control module exactly what plug is not letting it shut down. So the rest of it is completely shut down, with just that one plug which goes down to the rear fuse box. We disconnected the whole lot. So we disconnected the whole body control module, just left the front fuse box connected, and the last modules what were connected to that shut down, as they should do. Connected this one back one by one, and we actually worked out that it's the only one what causes the main issue is the one from the rear. So we're going to go to the rear fuse box, see what we've got coming out of that, strip all that boot out, and then try and work out where that's splitting down to. So if we strip that boot out, go to the rear fuse box, we'll be able to work out, well, hopefully we'll be able to disconnect it the same as this fuse box and work out which sort of area it's going in the car. It's long-winded, but it's the only way we can do it. So we've got this fuse box here. It's showing up that it's draining on a couple of the fuses, but we've got too many fuses on the front that are showing drains as well. It's literally because the car's not shutting down. So hopefully what we're going to be able to do is strip all this out, go to that fuse box, hopefully it splits like the front fuse box, so we can work out what area in the back it's going to. It's got amplifiers in the back, obviously got reverse sensors, got some other aerials in the back, got the doors, etc. So let's get that stripped out and we'll work out what we're going to do. Right, so we stripped the boot out, was hoping that this fuse box was going to be the same as the front where we can split it again. Unfortunately it's not, but we have noticed it is mainly 4 fuses, which is for the doors that we've got a bit of a drain on, so we're going to disconnect them, see if that makes any difference, but it's definitely something coming from this fuse box which is waking up the main one. So let's get this bit disconnected, see what we get in the morning. Right, so we disconnected the 4 fuses for the doors like we said we was going to do, and that again let it shut down, so we know it's something down to the doors. So that was the last test we done last night. Coming this morning, yeah, it's all shut down. On our last night's video, somebody mentioned on there they've had these before where the door handles muck up, but it's not pointing down to one door or the other. So he had actually said, go into your live data, look at your door switches, actually your door handle switches, and see if that shows you anything. So we've gone into it, and both door handles, both front door handles are both faulty. So that's why we're struggling because it's not one thing or another. So we've gone to live data. It actually thinks that somebody's pressing the door handles. So let's have a look at the live data and I'll show you what I mean. Let's show you what the live data is saying on these door handles. Just zoom in on that. So the front left lock button, that's when you slide your hand along the front of the door handle, and that is saying on and off. As soon as you take your hand off it, it goes back to on, so it thinks that you still got your hand on there. When you put your hand down the back of it to open, so that's your unlock pull switch, it's seeing that, and this one keeps going back to on, and so does the front right one. So as soon as you disconnect the door handles, they both go to off. It doesn't think you put your hand on the handle anymore, and the whole car shuts down. So a couple of days to find, 5 minutes to fix. Literally disconnect, then they're done. So now it's going to need 2 new door handles. So we can start putting this one back together, see how we go. So that's what we do. This is how long it took to do a battery drain. So literally we try and split it as much as we can, try and work out whereabouts it is. Sometimes they're straightforward, same as a Mercedes, straight down one fuse, straight to the door module, exactly the same fault, funny enough. So if you do like what we've done, I'll leave a little link to the playlist, which is for the showcasing ones. And if you want to see more of what we do in the workshop, obviously click on this little link here, and let us know what you think. Thanks so much.